Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, alright, let's talk about this funeral scene. See, the reason why I didn't like this funeral scene is not because it was sad. I mean, there's no funeral scene that's ever going to be like, oh my goodness, this was so amazing. But the reason why I didn't like this funeral scene of this portion of the show was because in a lot of ways I didn't feel like this character was big enough for them to devote a good 20 to 25 minutes of like time, especially towards a character that I felt like from day one was mismanaged, right? Because in all reality, he was supposed to be there for Alexis's romance, but they didn't start getting serious or even actually had a kiss towards his second year on the show, and that's when he was already dying. It didn't seem like they were going to sit there and try to do this love triangle between Tracy and Alexis. And it didn't matter because, well, sooner or later he was dead, right? So, while they're sitting there saying all these nice, sweet, kind, heartfelt words, it's like, time like that, I feel will be devoted to like maybe Bobby Spencer or Luke or a legendary character like Edward and Lila, not somebody who was a supporting character at best to devote that amount of time. Um, Towards the end, Finn is still struggling and he starts drinking, right? It's bad, it's bad. Chase sees it and, his heart breaks. Um, they talked a little bit, as awkward as the conversation was, about, Finn asking Alexis, why you never did anything with my dad. And she's like, well, I was just very afraid to sit there and be in a relationship with somebody who was dying. And I'm like, I guess if that's the route that they want to sit there and take, to try to explain why for a whole year they didn't do anything, but in reality, it was just bad writing. Now, while that's going on, you got Blaze in the studio, and she's not really feeling it as far as even doing it. She wants Brooklyn to be there. She feels bad for Brooklyn and Chase and stuff. And Natalia is just, oof. This chick is like the definition of the term POS, right? She's all like, oh, well, it's not like me and you really knew him. And I'm like, wow, goddamn, lady. Uh, you know, I'm kicking myself for the title that I put towards one of my streams. You all know what that title is, and leave it at that. But clearly I was wrong. Anyway, they get in the studio, and I guess the sound guy, whoever, is like, I don't really understand why we're redoing it for. Like everything was fine. It was damn near perfect the first time. What are we redoing this for? Hell, I think even Blaze was sitting there saying that. Well, for some odd reason, Natalia wants to sit there and be all nitpicky and be all like, oh, well, I changed some stuff around, so you can sit there and add the stuff in there too. I'm like, oof, she must be an absolute pleasant person to work with. Anyway, while that's going on, um, again, she's not really feeling it, so the music is suffering. You take a break. She has a talk with her. She's like, "What's going on?" And she feels all bad because of her fight with Christina, which was a stupid fight to begin with. Because in all reality, she was like, "Oh, I slipped. Oh, she dragged it out of me." It was like it wasn't really that. See that, and that's another problem with Blaze. Blaze is so weak-minded, right? You have this nightmare helicopter mom who is damn near bullying you at every turn of your life because you can't grow a backbone. Okay? Molly's sitting there pressing, sitting there asking you questions, and you just fold like that. You could have simply said, "It's not my story to tell. Talk to Christina." Oh, well, if I talk to her, then, it's just going to make her stress out even worse. Well, you know what? You're a sister, so you'll figure it out. It's not that hard to sit there and say no. Well, Blaze has clearly a hard time doing that, which is why she folded so damn fast. And, so anyway, she's bummed about that, and, Talia's all like, oh, well, sometimes if it's not meant to last, it's not meant to last. And, because she doesn't want her. Well, let's be honest, she's been sniffed as saying homophobic stuff for a while. It's just now she's just getting a lot more blazing with it. Brazen with it. And hell, she even sat there and said, well, this is, relationships like that aren't real. I'm just like, what? It's almost like in every episode, it's like, Jesus Christ, what is she going to sit there and say today that's even worse than what she said in the last couple episodes? Um, she asked, do you want me to sit there and bring Christina, to kind of help you out or whatever? And she's like, no. She knows what day this is, and so she goes back in there and she starts singing again. And for some odd reason, it's like she found her groove a little bit, and Christina walks in, and then she starts singing to her or whatever. Like, okay. I'm glad that it was a lot better. Um, I personally don't understand. I mean, music is like art. It's very subjective, right? So there's a lot of people that think that they feel that she can't sing. I personally think that she is a good singer. Um, so that happened. Christina, who is on Petra with Molly, because she's all like, "Oh, they're gonna try to restrict me and this, that, and the third," and so she decides to ambush Molly at work, and it's like, "Oh, can I take you somewhere? Can I do this? Can I do that?" She's like, "No, I'm kind of busy right now. I gotta go and do this whole lawyer thing or whatever, this whole DA thing." So she's like, "I don't know what time I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna be busy all day." And she's like, "Oh, I'll just hang out." I'm like, "You're just hang out in this courthouse? Like, really? You don't have anything else to do? Like seriously?" And the whole thing is that she wants to try to smooth things over. So while she gets done with the case, she comes back. She's looking like, "Oh, you're still here? Okay, all right." They get to talking. She starts trying to just bring up casual conversation. Oh, how are you doing? How are you and TJ doing and stuff? And it does get to a point where at the while, Christina's like, all right, so you know what's going on. You know what happened at that day, at the reception or whatever. Blaze told you, and you're sitting there pretending like you don't know what's going on. You're pretending like you don't know. So they get into it. Molly gets upset. She's like, this is something you should have told me. You should have told me. But you're keeping things away from me. And it's like, I don't have a right to know how the stuff that's going on with you is going to affect my baby. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to sit there and bear and grin it until his baby's born. And, after that, it will just be done. They get into it. And I'm not, Molly does have a point. Christina should have been like, hey, listen, this happened. It stressed me out. Hell, it was one of those things where she couldn't control that. It's not like she spent time with her dad that day and dad just started wilding out. It's like she was literally, going into the restroom or whatever, and she just happened upon saw that, but she was so nervous about how it was gonna make Molly and TJ upset, um, that she decided to hide it, which was stupid of her, you know. And in reality, Molly's upset about it. I'm like, Molly, you agreed to this, so I really don't feel bad for you. You could have sat there and went to another surrogacy. You could have. You decided, oh, I'll do this instead. So honestly, tell you the truth, Molly and TJ's worries and woes and their complaining and stuff like that, I have no sympathy. None whatsoever. No, I think the only other good thing that wound up happening was Jake has been acting like a dick lately. And I think it was actually nice to have one day when he didn't sit there and act like a dick. So, other than that, that was about it. Like I said, the majority of the episode was just like, it wasn't even filler. It was just towards a funeral that could have either been done, let's be honest, off screen, or not dedicate so much time towards such a minute character at best. Like, I don't know whose bright idea that was to actually do that, but they deserve to be fired. Anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say. If I forgot anything, write it in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video.